Good morning and welcome to Miami's Community News. I am your host, Ana Isabel Hume. In honor of Memorial Day that just passed, we have Stephanie Taylor with the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund. She is a Palm Beach County ambassador. The Wounded Veterans Relief Fund is a not for profit organization that was created to provide emergency financial assistance to disabled, qualified veterans living in Florida. Saving lives and keeping families together is their sole mission. I am proud to say that I am the Miami ambassador for this amazing organization. So, Stephanie drove all the way from Palm Beach County to join us here today to help us create awareness of the importance of supporting our military veterans, especially our local veterans. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes, thank you so much, Anna, for having me to spread the word about the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund, or the WVRF for short. Again, I am the Palm Beach County ambassador. And yes, we help veterans all throughout Florida. A big difficulty that many of our servicemen and women face is making that transition after active duty back into civilian life. Reacclimating themselves to these work environments can be very challenging because they're dealing with both their visible and their unseen injuries. They're also dealing with civilian lifestyle. People who have not been trained in the same way that they have. So it's hard often for them to, all these things compounded to keep work, and ultimately that could lead to financial difficulties. And that's where we provide assistance to those who need it. About 85% of everything that we raise goes directly to veterans. And our goal is to keep heads in beds, put smiles back on faces, and keep families together.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, Stephanie, can you give our viewers a brief history about the Wounded Veterans?
Sure. So actually, we were founded in 2009. We were founded as the Wounded Warriors of South Florida, and we are based here in South Florida. In 2014, that's when we elected our current board president, General Robert Shelberg. And we had already built a brand and reputation for putting our vets first. And he really helped to put our current structure and mission in motion. So in 2016, Michael Durkee, who is our executive director and still holds that position to this day, was elected. And he started out in 2014 as a community liaison, almost similar to our ambassador program that we have today that you and I are involved in. And in that same year, we also changed our name to what is now the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund. That held more true to our mission and what we're doing in the community, and also it helped to remove any brand confusion with any unaffiliated group. And yeah, I mean, since then we've just been continuing to grow, in so many different ways, and that's through the help of all of our community support, our sponsors, our really dedicated staff.
Thank you, Stephanie. Now, how did you get involved with this organization?
So that was kind of God, doing his beautiful way of connecting different people and places. So I, had been feeling in my heart that I needed to get involved with an organization. And nothing was really fitting. I wasn't quite sure, what I wanted to be involved in, but it had to mean something. And I was approached by a member of the team at WVRF who was a friend of mine for many years. And I actually met him when he came back from his deployment. And we used to bond over both him and my brother being Marines and, our love of country. And, I told him a story about when my brother came back from his deployment. And he was stationed at Camp Leatherneck, which is, for those of you who don't know, that is a military base in Afghanistan. And he had been back for about one day. And my mother was taking him to Walmart to get some household essentials, to get him back into his apartment. And my mom asked a simple question: what brand of peanut butter would you like? And that just sparked something in him. And he kind of went off on my mother in the middle of Walmart, saying, why does it matter what brand of peanut butter? Americans are so ungrateful, that they even have a choice of what brand. There's people dying. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. And he really went off on my mom. And not wrong either. He wasn't wrong in, his perspective and his assessment. And it really is a minute viewpoint, an example of, the the way that our veterans think when they come back and when they're trying to reacclimate into society. It's a really profound mindset that they come back with, and the way in which they deal with that, is not always the best. Now, my brother was unleashing to my mother, so she was a little more forgiving, but now had he been an employee of Walmart,
Correct.
He might have been fired, or he might have just quit.
Yeah.
So when Mike Durkee came to me with the mission for WVRF, I knew that this was it. I knew that I wanted to help the people like my brother who maybe don't have the same support that we have, coming back. And, now WVRF's mission is my mission. I want to help those that are in need, because these aren't strangers.
Correct.
It's my neighbor, it's your neighbor, it's all these Floridians working among us, whether we want to see it or not. And, oftentimes they're not going to ask you for the help that they need, that they so rightfully deserve. So I want to make sure that they have a safe place through the WVRF to get the help that they need.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I am very familiar with the transitioning back into society. It's one of the most difficult challenges that our soldiers go through. And thank you for pointing that out, because they are our neighbors. And regardless of the fact, they're our American heroes.
Yes.
And we should support them.
Precisely.
Okay. So what are some types of aid that these veterans receive or could receive?
So, some of the ways that we help is actually job training. We help with housing assistance. We're actually one of the only programs that helps out with mortgage payments. A lot of organizations think that, oh, well, if you have the money to buy a house, then you might be good. But disaster can strike at any time. And whether it's rent or mortgage payments, we're there to help. Our main goal is to fight homelessness in vets. So if it's emergency assistance, like finding a hotel, we basically want to help if anyone's about to go into foreclosure, things like that. Basic utilities, electric, water, gas, sewer, etc. Transportation, emergency vehicle repairs. But our biggest program that we've developed, that's our dental program, because a lot of people don't know that 92% of our vets do not receive coverage through the VA for dental needs. And that's because you have to be 100% disabled, and any injury or ailment sustained had to have been during active duty. Okay. So, cavities aren't covered through that. So that's where our program comes and steps in and gives critical dental care to, we use a network of dentists throughout the state of Florida, and they help out where, the VA doesn't cover.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great program.
A beautiful smile is very important.
Yes, in many ways.
Yeah. So how can veterans that need help apply?
So to qualify, to qualify, you do have to be honorably discharged. You have to be a Florida resident living in the state of Florida. A Purple Heart recipient, or about 30% of a disability. The best advice I can give to anyone who is thinking about getting assistance is to talk to your VA social worker. They will go through the process of getting you the application and as well the VA ROI for you to fill out.
Excellent. Okay. So what are some ways that, well, I know, but you could tell our viewers that the organization raises funds?
Private donors is our biggest, next to all of our events. We don't take any government funding. So whether it's from, event proceeds or auctions at events, that's basically how we raise money. And also with our events, it's a great way for veterans to come and participate and have some fun as well, get them meeting other members of the community. So, we do have different events like golf tournaments.
The Las Olas Exotic Club, car club
that we went to. That was a great event.
I love that one.
Great exposure at the Exotics on Las Olas event.
Yeah.
Coming up, we do have our annual 4th of July Freedom Dive, which is with the Jupiter-based group Shark Addicts. So that's a really fun event. You get the vets out, get some boats, have them have a fun day. Then we also have our Bonita fishing tournament, which is actually one of the largest fishing tournaments in the Treasure Coast. That is going to be August 12th and 13th. And we raise money through the lunch and the auctions that way. But that's another fun way too, to get like some vets out and fishing and get them meeting the local community. In September, we have our annual Double Dog 5K in Boca Raton, Florida. People can get involved by volunteering or signing up to run. You can run virtually as well. We have a clay shoot in October. And then actually in November is our annual gala. And that's one of our biggest events.
Yes.
And, 2021 was really a transformational year for our organization. And we just have so many great events and things that we're implementing moving forward. And we're really excited to unveil those at that event. And that is, it's amazing the support that we get from our donors through that event. So, and this year shouldn't be any different than any other year.
I agree. The last time we had the gala was pre-COVID, unfortunately.
Yes.
It was in 2019, and we surprised one of the veterans with a truck.
Yes.
He was in tears. He had missing limbs, and he was it was so beautiful to see that.
Yeah. It's great for especially our large donors to see that this is where your money is going.
Correct.
We're very transparent.
Yeah.
Again, 85% goes directly to the vets.
Correct. Okay. So what are some other ways, if we have people that want to get involved, but they don't necessarily go to the events, what are some other ways they can support our veterans?
So they can attend the events. You can either through ticket sales, or if we have auction items, things like that. Often if we're hosting the event or if we're the main charitable recipient, oftentimes just the tickets alone go directly to that's 100%. Volunteering, that's a big one. And you can contact Anna or myself, or go directly again to our website at wvrf.org and contact us through that. Because volunteers, it's great to have an extra pair of helping hands. And we have such a great volunteer base. I love seeing, a lot of the same faces at different events and stuff. And it's, you build a different kind of community. It's awesome.
Correct.
And then, another big way for any individual is to donate. And not even just a one-time donation. We have a campaign called the I Got Your Six campaign, where you would sign up monthly to donate $6. And because one-time donations, while anything is greatly accepted and welcomed, it's more consistent. And
Correct.
We know that money's coming in. So it's easier for us to allocate those funds and know what we're going to have in the coming months. And to put it in Miami terms, the Miami Heat Arena holds 21,000 people. So if we had 10,000 people donating $6 a month, that's $60,000 a month.
Wow.
That we know we're getting. So we know where to allocate those funds. We know it's coming in versus a one-time. It's just not as consistent. So it's more difficult for us within the organization to know who we can help and how much. That's less than a beer at the game. That's a Starbucks.
It's true.
Once a month. You're basically buying a Starbucks for a vet, in essence.
Or a gallon of gas.
Yeah. And now if the whole arena actually donated, that's $126,000 a month. That's 20 vets. Just that could sponsor 20 vets in the dental program alone. Yeah. So, and that's just $6 a month.
Exactly. And that goes a long way.
It does. It really does.
And okay, so let's see here. What are the monetary goals for this year, and how close are we to reaching it? Can you let our viewers know?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year we to veterans, we raised over $1 million.
Amazing.
Yes. So obviously for 2022, we would love to double that, make it 2 million. Currently, year to date, we are just over $500,000. So hopefully with all of these events coming up, us trying to get the word out just as we are now, hopefully we can, meet or exceed that goal.
Correct. Yes. And I'm glad that we have the events scattered, and hopefully we can bring some events to Miami as well.
Oh, that's what we need to do. Absolutely.
That is my goal. Is there anything else? Oh, how can, well, we already discussed how could they qualify. Is there anything else you want to add before I get my closing?
If there's anyone out there who just wants to get involved, or like me, who was looking to get involved with an organization, it's great that we can help our vets without any of that government red tape or hurdles, since we only take private donors. Just come get involved. If you feel like, you want to be an ambassador, or you have a great event that you would like to
host for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We would love to break into the Miami market.
I like that. Yes. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Well, in closing, if you or someone is in need of veteran support, please visit the website. As Stephanie has mentioned a few times, www.vrf.org. Now, it's important to say that if someone is going through a life-threatening experience, please dial 911 first. And there's also a mental health crisis hotline, which is a national hotline, and you can call 1-800-273-8255. Thank you so much for tuning in to Miami's Community News. I am your host, Ana Isabel Hume.